So Jeanette Dale from Jeanette Dale Fitness here, and today I have a very, very nice treat for you guys. We have a full stretch routine. So you're going to want to do this on your days off just to get moving, get those muscles stretched out, working those toxins out, because let me tell you this right now, flexibility is just as important as working on your cardio and your strength training. You need to hit strength training, flexibility, and the cardio aspect of your entire fitness regimen. Otherwise, it's very likely that you'll hit a plateau. So I want you to focus in today, right now, as we stretch it out. So what I'm going to use today is my Tabata Timer app. It's an app that you can download. I want to say it's $2.99, somewhere around there. Totally worth it. You can sync it to your music, your playlists, and it times everything out for you. You set your own timers. We're going to hold everything for anywhere from 20 seconds to 45 seconds, and we're going to get started right now.
Starting session.
So I just hit start and it starts counting it down for me. We're going to start with just simply a neck stretch. So your feet are about hip width apart. You're just going to turn your head to one side. Just stretching it over, chin towards your shoulder. Neck is nice and long. It's an extension of your spine. Just reaching over, pushing it over just a little bit more, and looking over in the opposite direction. So we're holding it about 20 seconds each side. Really driving your chin away. Fingertips are reaching down towards the ground. Shoulders are away from your ears. Just holding that stretch right there. Pushing away. Then we're going to start rolling from side to side. Neck rolls right here. Doing a neck roll side to side. Going back and forth. Just chin to chest. Not taking the head all the way around. Just chin to chest, shoulder to shoulder. As you take it over, fingertips are still reaching down, warming up into that neck. Just reaching, feeling that nice stretch right here every time. We have about 15 seconds left right here. Pulling back and forth. We're going to switch this up to another neck stretch, taking the head center, and just pulling your ear towards your shoulder. Now that arm you're going to take up, fingertips lightly right above your ear as you put a little bit of pressure, driving your chin up to the sky and reaching those opposite fingers down. Feeling that nice pull along the back side of your neck, being very gentle. A couple more seconds here. Switching it over. Taking your ear to the other shoulder, fingertips right above that ear, reaching down with the other hand, exaggerating that stretch in between your shoulder and your ear. So right here, the top part of that neck. Stretching that neck out. It gets so tight and holds so much tension in there. Taking it right here, we're going to contract and expand that chest. So you're going to round and open it up, arching your back, rounding it, pulling your belly button into your spine. There you go. You can also just pull it in, push it out. Pull it in, push it out. Switching it up, back and forth, opening and closing your chest and your back. Open, exhale, close, pulling your belly button into your spine. So you're rounding your back, feeling that nice stretch up top, and getting the stretch into your back as well. Expanding and contracting. 5 more seconds right here. We're going to take one arm right across the front, grabbing behind your elbow and dropping that shoulder away from your ear. You should feel a nice stretch, the back part of your shoulder, as well as your upper back just a little bit. Really pulling that down, that shoulder down. Just keep pulling it down. Inhale, pull it down, keeping your core contracted the whole time. Stretching that shoulder, holding on nice and tight, not grabbing at the joints. Switch sides. Pulling it down and away. So you can do this just using your form that you've printed out with these stretches, or you can do this with me the entire time. Absolutely. Taking it down. We're going to move this shoulder stretch to the back. So when you take one arm, bend it behind you. Grab the other hand and pull it open. So here, I want you to make sure those shoulders aren't rounded closed. Pulling it open and just getting a nice slight tug on this arm. Just a slight tug, okay? If you feel any sharp shooting pains, just back off. Couple more seconds. Release it, switching sides right here. Pull it in, and then make sure you pull that shoulder back so you feel the nice stretch on the front side of your shoulder now. Holding it right here, a couple more seconds. Slowly releasing, shake it out. I want you to take one hand in front, drop your fingertips down, grab onto those fingertips, and pull back. Nice little forearm stretch right here, something that we don't focus on a lot. So you can see I have my fingers held here, and I'm pulling them back just a little bit. Remembering to breathe when you're in these positions. We often want to hold our breath when it starts to hurt. You need to inhale, exhale, and allow it to stretch. Switch sides. Pop it out in front, drop it down, and give a nice little pull. Every time you pull, every time you get deeper into these stretches, I want you to exhale nice and deep. A couple more seconds right here. We're going to switch it to an upper back stretch. So you're going to take your hands and you're going to put them inside your legs, grabbing behind your knees. You're going to wrap your chin towards your chest and push away with your legs, rounding your shoulders closed. So you're not just standing here like this, you're actually pulling that belly button into your spine and stretching it out. You can even bend your knees a little bit. You can cross your hands in here if it gets you a deeper stretch. And you're just going to be holding right here, rounding it. You can drop in and round it again. Really pulling that belly button into your spine. Chin goes into your chest. Couple more seconds right here. Holding on to it. Slowly come up. We'll stretch those triceps. You're going to take one arm up and over, reaching down the center of your back as you pull the other elbow down. Opening up those fingertips nice and wide, reaching down the center of your back. Right here. Standing nice and still. I keep moving around because I'm looking at my paper to tell me which stretch is next. You guys just need to listen to me. Switch it out. Up and over with the other side. Reaching those hands down the center of your back. Remember, really exaggerating it, not just holding this pose, but really working into it. All right. Taking it down. Both arms are going to come up. You're gripping your wrist, and you're reaching up and over, opening up that side body now. Pulling at your wrist, pulling that elbow back and away. Pulling your belly button into your spine, engaging your glutes as you take it up and over. Take it up, switch your wrist, so switch your grip. Stand it up nice and tall. Exhale over. Engaging your glutes to support your back, pulling your belly button into your spine, reaching up and over, pull that elbow back and away. Right there, yes. Grabbing onto that wrist. We're going to take it down to a seated position. Knees are into your chest, and we're just going to tuck and roll. So you're just rolling back and forth, massaging that spine. I'm going to show you here from the side. Right here. Nice and easy. Holding on and just massaging that spine, keeping your shoulders away from your ears. And it can be a little move. You can just be right here, rocking back and forth, massaging that spine. Or you can make it a little bit bigger, finding that balance at the top. Then we're going to take it up and over here in just a moment. Right here, legs go up. And the legs go up higher for a shoulder stand. And drop them back behind your head if possible. If not, you're just holding here, making sure you keep your gaze up at your legs and you're not turning your head side to side in this position. Taking those feet up and over, reaching for the back of the floor if it's available to you, really stretching that spine out, making sure you don't turn your neck in this position. Hold on to that. Get my paper here. Holding on to your plow stretch right here. Pulling your belly button into your spine. Roll it on down. Dropping your feet to the ground, we're going into a figure 4 stretch. So you're going to take one leg up, cross it over your knee. You're going to take your hands in between your legs right here. Okay, so one hand goes in between your legs, grabbing behind the other thigh. Bend that knee, and you're going to pull in as you push into that knee with your elbow. So if it's your left leg that's crossed over your right knee, your left elbow is pushing into that knee and pulling. You're going to drive your tailbone down to the mat or the ground and just really feel that stretch in your glute. Nice opening up of the hips right here. We're going to switch sides. Shake it out. The leg goes up. Cross it over. So now maybe you're on your right side. Whatever one it is, you just need to switch it to the other side. Reaching in between the legs. Grabbing behind that other leg. Driving my right elbow into my right knee now as I drive my tailbone down to the ground so that my back is completely flat along the ground. So my tailbone's not popped up like this. I'm driving it down, opening up that glute and that hip even more. Holding on to it right there. Stay in that stretch. Holding on to it. Pulling it in. Pushing that knee out. Slowly releasing it, coming to a seated position. You're going to take that left leg in, bent knee, cross your right leg over, reaching up with that left arm, left elbow hits that right knee, and you're going to twist. Now you may just end up looking to the side. You may be able to turn and look over that right shoulder. With every inhale, I want you to lengthen your spine here. Every exhale, I want you to twist a little bit further. Couple deep breaths here. So you're going to inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Feeling a nice stretch in your glute as well as your spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Slowly unwinding from here. Crossing now that right leg inside. Left leg goes up and over. Reaching up high with that right hand. Elbow meets your knee and you wring out that spine. Inhale, lengthen your spine here. Sitting up taller, feeling that exaggerated stretch in that glute. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, wring it out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, wring it out a little bit more. Knowing you can always stay in these stretches longer, but I want the minimum amount of time to be 45 seconds for these stretches. All right, slowly unwind. Coming up to both knees, placing one leg in front, making sure your knee does not go past your toe. I want you to sink into it. We're going to stretch that hip flexor out, reaching your hands up high and leaning back into it right here. Just leaning back, engaging your glutes so you don't feel it in your lower back. You should feel a nice stretch in your hip flexor on the side that the leg is down. Making sure you're driving through the heel of that front foot. Just pushing forward. Leaning back. Take your gaze up towards your fingertips to exaggerate that stretch a little bit more. Really opening up that hip flexor. Straightening out that front leg. I want you to flex that front foot. From here, take those shoulders up, back and down. Pull your belly button into your spine. Keep your back flat as you hinge forward. You may only get this far. That's totally fine. With every inhale, you lengthen that spine. With every exhale, you go a little bit deeper. Sending oxygen to those muscles that are hurting. If it's a sharp shooting pain, back off just a little bit. Use your breath to get through it. Before you react to the tightness, find your breath. Take a deep inhale. And exhale a little bit deeper, right here. Your legs are probably pretty sore. This probably feels pretty amazing right now. Holding everything for at least 45 seconds. There's our timer. We're going to turn it to an inner thigh stretch right here. So you're going on the inside. And you're just kind of dropping down. Now you can let your glutes drop further back, or if you want to exaggerate the stretch a little bit more, you bring it a little bit more forward. You'll find that point of resistance. I want you to find that point of resistance and breathe before you react. Find your breath. Inhale where you feel that. Exhale, allow that oxygen to go to the muscles and let them trust you. and sink a little bit deeper. Sinking into it, right here, just falling into it. Breathe, inhale in, exhale out. All right, coming back together, let's switch it to the other side. So now we're on the other leg as you sink down into it. Sinking down into it, reaching those hands up and leaning back into it. Squeezing your glutes, supporting that lower back, making sure you're driving through the heel of your front foot. Reach back, opening up that hip flexor on the other side. Feels so good. I love this stretch. It's one of my favorites of all times. Just reaching back. This routine can be done anytime. You can do this in the same day that you do a major exercise. Straighten that front leg, flex that front foot, shoulders up, back, and down, leading with your chest, back is flat as you hinge over that front leg. One side is usually tighter than the other, absolutely. Find that point of resistance. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, sink into it. Stretching that hip, that hamstring out a little bit more. So the hamstring is right back here on the back side of your leg. You might feel a little pain right there behind the knee. It's just because you're tight. You just need to breathe, and you need to do this stretch exercise as often as possible. Sinking into it with every exhale. Using your breath before you react. Taking it to that inner thigh stretch, so you're just going to turn it to the side and sink into it. So if you look at it this way, you can see you might just be right here. That might be enough for you. You might be able to sink in lower. I want you to find that point though, because you shouldn't just be sitting here, all right? You need to find that point of resistance, because all of us have that point of resistance. You just need to work through it to find it. Inhale, exhale, sink into it. Here we go. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. Breathe before you react. Find that breath. Awesome. All right, coming onto your feet. Grabbing one foot into your hand. Holding it right here. Now bring those knees together. Engage your glutes, opening up that quad. Pulling your shoulders back, belly button's pulled into your spine. Find a spot on the floor and focus, or hold on to something to give you that balance. Engage those glutes, squeeze those knees together, and notice how with every little adjustment you feel that stretch deepen in your quad. Pushing that foot slightly into your hand and letting that shoulder open up on the same side. Stretching it out right here. Oh yeah, knees together. Switching sides, finding that spot on the floor to focus again as you put your foot into your hand. Notice your knee automatically wants to go out like this, right? Pull it in. Squeezing those knees together by engaging your glutes and pushing those hips forward just a little bit. Pulling those shoulders back, allowing that quad to really stretch out. Pulling that shoulder back just a little bit by pressing your foot into your hand. Gazing out in front of you, finding a spot on the floor and focusing, or holding on to something. Something more than I'm holding on to, because there's nothing here. Squeezing right here. Hold on tight. Awesome. We're going to be taking it down to the floor in just a second. This stretch gets a little bit serious, so we're going to take it down for a frog stretch. So you're going to set it up in tabletop, and you're going to open those knees up. And you're going to lay down like a frog. So your feet are behind you, set up just like this. You want more, you scoot back. You want to lessen it, you scoot forward a little bit. So this is just funny looking, I know. So you're set up like this. A little bit more, you scoot back. A little bit less, you scoot forward. Your feet are wide. So you don't want your feet totally together right here. You want them more open. So you're exaggerating that stretch. Now you might be up here because you're tight in between on your inner thighs, and that's okay. Just setting it up right here and breathing, holding on to it. Slowly releasing. You can just crawl out of it this way and putting your feet out in front of you. Flex your feet, find your sit bones, inhale, arms up high. Exhale, reach it forward. So if you can reach your toes, awesome. Grab onto them. If you can't, then find wherever you're at. Pull those shoulders back up and walk your hands a little bit more forward. If you do have your toes, inhale and pull those shoulder blades back. Exhale as you pull your elbows further in. So side view, here, you don't want to round your back. I want you to pull those shoulders back. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, pull it in. Here we go. Remembering you can stay in any of these stretches longer if you'd like. Taking your legs out wide, toes are pointed up to the sky. I want you to lean over towards one side and walk those hands out. What I don't want is you completely rounded like this. So if you only get to here and you feel that stretch enough, hold it here and breathe. Exhale, take it down a little bit further. With every inhale, you lengthen. With every exhale, you take it out further. If you're down far enough already, then you can take that inside hand and reach towards the outside of that foot to open up that side body a little bit more and to get a deeper stretch.
Tabata complete.
Taking it over to the other side, right here. Inhale, exhale, take it down. Pulling those shoulders back, lengthening that spine with every inhale. Exhaling, take it down. If you're already at this point and you know you can get a little bit deeper, then reach that inside hand towards the outside knife edge of that foot. And allow that foot to kind of push into your hand and use the opposing force of your own body to deepen that stretch. Using your breath to allow yourself to sink deeper every time. Inhale and exhale. Now we're going to take it center. Right here. I want you to pull those shoulders back and fingertip those hands forward. Little teeny bits. I don't want you to round your back here. It's the easier thing to do. It's harder, and you get a deeper stretch by pulling those shoulders back and rolling onto those inner thighs rather than just rounding the back. Inhale. Exhale a little bit further. Inhale here. Exhale a little bit further. You just keep going with this. When you find that point of resistance, I want you to find your breath. Before you react, before you back out, deep breath and sink into it. Bringing those legs back in together. Shaking them out just a little bit. Bending and straightening those knees. We're going to take it into a down dog and really work our heels down to the floor. So to set up for down dog, I want you to make sure that your hands are really nice and wide, really nice and open, and the pressure is equally distributed between each of your hands throughout the entire hand. Kind of focusing your weight more right here in your palm, on the pad of your thumb. Opening them up nice and wide, tabletop position, tuck those toes, sending those hips up to the sky. So here I want you to really engage those quads. Ears are between your biceps. You have two energies here. One is going from your hands all the way to your tailbone, up towards the sky. The other one is from your heels up to the spine, up to your tailbone. Pressing your chest towards your quads and basically lifting the knees by engaging your quads. Pedaling your feet one at a time, driving your heels closer to the ground. So when you really engage those quads, it helps take some of the weight off of your hands. Pushing through your shoulders, pressing your chest towards your quads. With every pedal of the feet, you allow those heels to get closer. Yes. There we go. Taking it down to your knees. Dropping it down to your chest. Hands are by your chest right here. And you're going to peel up off. The tops of your feet are pressing into the floor, and your shoulders pull away from your ears. So don't allow your shoulders just to creep up right here. Everything is engaged. Your glutes are engaged. Your feet are pressing into the top. The tops of your feet are pressing into the ground. If you have it, if this is available to you, press those feet into the ground and lift those quads up off the ground. Pull those shoulders back. Right here. Holding on to it. Nice stretch. If you need to let those legs down, please do. And sitting back into child's pose. Toes together, knees apart. Sit those glutes down to your heels and reach out in front of you as you pull your belly button into your spine nice and tight. Forehead can rest on the ground, reaching those fingertips out a little bit further, feeling that nice stretch in your back and right there underneath your shoulder blades. Holding it right here. We're almost done with this stretch, you guys. Reaching it out, full engagement here. Yes, this is a resting posture, but everything is still engaged. It's an active resting posture. Breathing the entire time. Walking your hands over to one side as you push away and open up the side body. Really inhaling, exhaling, and pushing, never just relaxing. Never just relaxing, finding that nice balance in between relaxation and pressure. Holding it here. We have one more side. One more side to do. Breathing, inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Getting ready to take it over to the other side. Walking your hands over to the other side as you really push away and get the most out of this last side child's pose stretch. Pushing away. You can overlap those hands on each other if you would like. Pushing away in the opposite direction of which way your hands are going. Holding on to it right here. Stretching it out. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. Holding on to it. Really exaggerating that stretch. Never letting it just fall. Never just falling into that pure relaxation. Finding that happy balance between force and relaxation. And finding your breath right in between all of it. Taking it back center, rolling it up. Right here. Inhale those arms back, clasping your hands behind you and opening up that chest. Looking up just slightly. Right here. Holding on to it. Sitting down on those heels, taking your forehead down to the ground. Holding those arms behind you. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. Slowly releasing your hands down by your side. And just let it go. Melting into the floor. Now you can relax. Now you can just let it go.
Savana complete.
Slowly coming up. Finding yourself in a seated position, crossing your legs. I want you to inhale it up nice and slow, finding your hands at a nice meeting place right there in the center. Taking them down, hands pressed together, elbows are out. Taking the thumbs, pressing them into your sternum. Thank you all for taking this time with me today. Bow your head. Namaste.